So the Bangchan situation. There are already like 10,000 videos on YouTube about how he shouldn't have to apologize, he's not in the fault, and the sentiment resonates on other social media platforms as well. So this will be a little bit of a controversial take, maybe, but I do think he's in the wrong here, solely because this is not the first time that this has happened. So let's rewind a little and see what happened when he was conducting one of his live streams that he does, and they're quite infamous. Like, he is known to do like really fan interactive live streams that a lot of strays get involved in deeply. And the conversation that he runs with him and within his fan base is pretty open. Like, they talk about a lot of things. He's pretty open-minded, and that shows in the way he converses with the fans and stuff. I think his biggest mistake is just that. He's too callous in the way he converses with his fans. So much so that he sometimes forgets that his words have real consequences. So in one of his most recent live streams, he was talking about how they were at Music Bank in Paris, and a fan asked him about his experience there, and then he goes on this sort of rant where he talks about how the younger generation or the next generation, and without even filling in the blanks of what he said after that, anytime someone has started a conversation like that, you know it's a red flag. But he starts off the conversation by saying the younger generation and the next generation doesn't share the same etiquettes that him, or the manners that him and his generation shares. So he talks about an experience where he bows to someone and they don't respond by greeting him back. Now, obviously, that happening to anyone is a shitty thing. It's not nice, and he's allowed to feel however he feels about that. He's completely entitled in the way he feels about that situation. This is not about whether his reaction to that situation was right or wrong. This is about the way he spoke about it online. So he does it pretty ambiguously. He doesn't take names of people, which is obviously not something nice to do either. But he does not take names of people, and he talks about how, he felt disrespected by a younger generation member. He felt, felt that the person was being rude to him. And when you do start a conversation like this, already going in with so much ambiguity, you create room for that ambiguity to be filled by someone else. And that's exactly what happened. His fan base decided to find the person who made him feel bad, or who they think is the person. Obviously, we will never know till he or that person confirms it, and started bandwagon hate trains against these people. And haha, no surprise, that happens to be IVE, because every single person has decided that they're the next villains of K-pop. And it's just so exhausting to have to sit and defend them time and time again from matters of common sense. This should be common sense. He has not named anybody. You have decided to connect the dots that don't even match, and then you've decided to send hate trains to people. So the video from the Music Bank event in Paris that people are using as reference doesn't even show them greeting each other properly. It's just such a rushed situation that this is just people finding things to blame. And the situation just blows out of proportion, and every single stray is like sending hate to IVE. Like, their Instagram comments for their account is filled with hate comments. Just to the brim. From strays that you were disrespectful to Bangchan, who do you think you are? All the nasty things you can think people have said to them. And this isn't the first time he's done this. He did this previously as well when he talked about a similar experience that he had, I think, at KCON. I'm not sure about the details of it, but he's talked about this before. And during that time as well, people decided to find people to blame, and somehow that became IVE again. And there has been this whole pattern of blaming them for not, being respectful to their seniors, not bowing to people. Now, bowing or how you address your seniors in Korean culture is a very different thing than rest of the world, right? I mean, I can draw a lot of parallels to it from the Indian culture. Now you're supposed to address people a certain way, so I can understand the severity of it when it's not done correctly. But I don't like the fact that non-Koreans are schooling everyone about this or using this as a way to bandwagon hate people they don't like. I think if you can have your opinions about it, I think you shouldn't speak over Korean people when they talk about this, and most Korean people don't seem to have a problem with it. It's people who are not Korean using it as one of the ways to hate on IVE, which is not okay. But yeah, he did something similar. He ambiguously talked about another instance like this where he felt like someone from the younger generation or someone who's new to the industry, a rookie maybe, wasn't respectful to him, didn't respond to his greeting the way he would have liked or in a respectful tone to begin with. And he talked about how the culture has changed so much, and he did it again ambiguously, not taking names, which is a good thing. I don't think he should be using his platform like this to, pigeonhole someone and to call them out so publicly. If he felt disrespected by one of his juniors, he should bring it up with them personally. The problem is the fact that he does it so ambiguously creates this space for people to speculate, and this is a thing that is so common in K-pop. Like, you have news articles about stuff like this where idol A does this to idol B and idol C was hurt, and like that they talk about really severe situations like bullying and sexual assault in the form of riddles where you're supposed to sit and find out who the person is, which is so dangerous. Just knowing how K-pop fans are, knowing how fan culture in general is so toxic and sometimes so demanding from people that they sometimes get brainwashed into these patterns of behavior and are not thinking straight and start hero worshipping someone and will do anything to defend them. And you see perfect examples of that in this situation. He said someone hurt his feelings. People decided to find that someone, irrespective of them being right or wrong. They decided to hate on that person, and it created what we've seen, I being bullied online. This formatting of, talking about problematic issues that become so normal in K-pop is the problem in itself. Either you tell us who you're talking about, be petty like that if you want to. Honestly, I would have more respect for you if you were. Or just don't talk about that situation publicly. Take it up privately with the person who's bothering you and figure it out amongst yourselves like grown adults do. What? I don't like this. This is so sly from his part, if I'm being honest. He is totally in the wrong here. You cannot, as a person with so much influence, as a person with so much power, pretend like your words don't have consequences. Bang Chan's words had consequences. I got bullied because of it. He needs to be more responsible, and he has shown responsibility. He was responsible while apologizing. He realized what he did was wrong, but his fans somehow don't see that situation as his fault. Yes, he didn't send the bullying messages to the IVE members. Clearly, his fans did. But he created an environment, he created a situation which triggered a response like that. He's the one with the big platform. He's the one whose words influence millions of people. He needs to be more vigilant with the language that he's using. And he didn't do that, and he apologized, which was good on his part. But this has still left like a bitter taste in my mouth around him. I generally am not that big of a fan of Stray Kids to begin with. I could name like 2-3 songs about them. So what I know about them comes from situations like this. And this is not a good look on him. This is not a good look on him at all. And this is not just for him. Like I mentioned, regularly you will see on like Korean platforms about K-pop and how people will talk about a problematic situation but not take names, and that will create ambiguity where people will start sending hate to people who they think fit that description. Now, obviously, the person sending hate is just as much responsible, probably even more responsible than anyone else in the situation. That is a bad person. We have already established that. There's no conversation around it. But you, as someone with a bigger platform, should not be doing things that instigate that person. You, as someone with a bigger platform, should be more vigilant. And that's what I hope from him. If he has an issue with people not respecting him, not bowing, take it up with them. Go talk to that person about it. You are grown, 25-year-old. Just go and talk to that person about it. That person's clearly younger than you. You already have seniority in K-pop and Korea and the way that system works. Use it. I don't know. I didn't like the fact that everyone was like, he shouldn't apologize, because he is the one who started this whole situation. So he needs to take some responsibility. And he is clearly smarter than all of these people, because he did apologize. He took responsibility. Now it's just up to his fans to, follow his footsteps or continue to be the bullies that they're continuing to be. But yeah, this is a little bit of like a rant kind of situation. I am a little heated up about this situation, so I've just gone off script and just talked and talked and talked. But yeah, tell me what you think. Do you think he should have apologized? Do you think he shouldn't have apologized? Are you annoyed when people do this? Because I am greatly annoyed when people do this. Like, just be petty and tell us who you're, trashing, or just don't talk about the situation. That's where I've fallen. But yeah, that's it for me. And yep, bye.